Hi, my name is Christine Huang, and I'm going to talk about my process of making sculpture inspired by Jean Dubuffet styrofoam sculpture. First of all, the title of my sculpture is Life because my sculpture represents friends, and I chose this title because my friends are always going to be on my side and be part of my life, and they're everything that I have. My sculpture was originally two different figures, but I attached their arms together. I purposely did that to give an idea of friends putting arms on their shoulders. And I also wanted to express that my friends and I are going to stand by each other's side and lean on each other when we face difficulties in our lives. So first I came up with some ideas to answer the question of what consumes my life, and the list that I wrote was food, family, friends, homework, projects, and art, and I chose to go with friends. This is the first preliminary drawing that I drew in my sketchbook. In this first preliminary drawing, I tried to put their arms on each other's shoulders individually, and second one as well. My first and second preliminary drawings seem a bit simple because of the small dynamics of curves. So in my third one, the one that I chose to make, I tried my best to exaggerate a little bit to show more movement of the curves. Add to that, I connected each of two figures' arm to form one jointed arm. Also, one of the characteristics of Jean Dubuffet is that no one recognizes what his sculptures are. So I drew a lot of curved and straight lines to prevent from making them look like friends, and to show some aspects of Jean Dubuffet's characteristics. First, I bent chicken wires to create two different figures, and I created another single piece which is going to be a jointed arm that connects those two figures. Then I used cooking foils to cover the chicken wires. The next step was to put plasters on the cooking foils. It is very important to smooth it out to get rid of the small holes of plaster. And then I swept my sculpture with sandpapers to make surface of sculpture as smooth as possible. This stage affects the next stage because if it's not smooth, then it is hard to color the sculpture with markers. In this stage, I had to wear a mask because of the dust of plaster. In this stage, I used many different colors to color the sculpture, and I used same colors for both figures to symbolize that my friends and I have many things in common. This is my final outcome of my sculpture. The strengths of my sculpture are the various colors entertain people, and the faces of these two figures are well colored because the organic shapes and many different lines don't make them look like faces, which is one of the characteristics of Jean Dubuffet. In addition, the curves of the sculpture make the sculpture look three-dimensional. Also, I think I did a great job with connecting the back and front of the sculpture with different shapes and lines to show that they are talking about the same theme. The weaknesses of my sculpture would be the surface of the sculpture, which I should have smoothed it out more when I was putting plasters on the sculpture covered with cooking foils, because I figured out that it was hard for me to draw it on the sculpture with markers because the surface wasn't smooth enough. Furthermore, the jointed arm that connects two figures moves a lot sometimes, and I think it's not strong enough, so that'll be my weaknesses. I try to create movement through the dynamics of curves of the sculpture, and for the space, I showed negative space through the space between the two figures' arms and legs. Overall, I think I did pretty okay because personally, I think I pushed myself to challenge during the process, and the outcome is better than I expected. I also think that I did pretty good job on conveying the message of friends through my sculpture, but to pick out some parts, it would happen much better if I've made the surface more smooth enough on the stage where I put this plaster on the sculpture.